What's happening, everybody? This is Todd Wilson with Elevate Your Game. Today we have our special guest, Coach Drew Moore, the head basketball coach at Crespi High School. Welcome.
Thanks. Yeah, good to be here. We have a lot of respect at Crespi for what you do, what you've built, and we've had 3 students right now from your program, and they come ready to play. They come ready to work. So we have a strong affinity for you personally. I know you for a long time, and your program has helped us directly. So thank you, and thanks for having us here today.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if you even know this, that you've been a mentor for me in the training and development side, just watching you do it for the last 10, 12 years.
Sure.
And getting my start with Impact Basketball where you were or are, and with development, man. So I really watched and seen like the growth of you from a developer as well to a coach in that transition. And so once again, thank you for being here for the Corporate Fall Classic. Today we're sponsored by Barcode, a new sports drink out there. So thank you, Barcode, for supporting our event and keeping the players hydrated. So we're just going to hop right into the question. So you get down there and coach the team. So I love this question. This first question is, when did you fall in love with basketball?
Yeah, good question. I think growing up, my older brother played, so I was around his practices, and then like any young kid in LA watching from the 80s, watching the Showtime Lakers probably was more of an entertaining thing, and then grew an appreciation for it as watching them as they won, and Jordan came along. So pretty much late 80s, I would say, with Showtime Lakers would probably generate most of my love for the game. And then once you get involved with it and see it even as a middle schooler, try to do what they do, but still falling in love with it for whatever you could get out of it, for sure.
Absolutely. And so what do you see your team, like what's your focus this year? What are you most excited about with you guys developing? I mean, you got a young core, but you guys, you got some seniority and some guys who've been there and competing in the Mission League.
Yeah. It's an interesting time. We hopefully are a lot deeper than we were last year. Last year we relied on 6 guys and maybe a 7th most games, and that came back to bite us at the end of the year from a conditioning standpoint, where guys were worn out, and then from in games our depth just could not only foul trouble, but just our energy level wasn't as good. So we'll be deeper this year, which will help us. I think that'll be a real asset for us. We'll be better balanced. We'll have more weapons. So that's been exciting. And we just have, like I alluded to, we have strong character guys that are working hard, which is fun for a coach. So we probably won't be the most talented team in most games that we play, but we'll work hard. We'll be prepared, and we'll battle. We're tough, and we'll be in shape, and we'll compete. So that's been fun to be around as a coach and as a program leader. That's all you can ask for. And when they work hard, they work together, they're selfless, and it's been enjoyable so far.
Absolutely, and I hear from the kids who are in the program, your discipline, your culture that you're building, it's one of just hard work, and they grind, and they have to mold to the environment, and it's because they understand it makes them better.
Sure, yeah, we have, like I said, strong leadership at the top all the way to the bottom, and when the gym's open, there's 15 guys in there, and when it's optional, there's 15 guys in there, and when it's after practice, there's 15 guys in there. So it's fun, and it's fun for those guys because they feed off each other, and it probably wasn't 15 guys' instinct to stay there or get there early, but because everybody else is like-minded and they're pushing themselves, it's kind of become second nature for the whole team.
Sweet. And so you have a history of development, player development. That's where your background. Where do you see yourself developing over the last year as a coach, and how are you going to apply that to this season?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, with being a lot, this is my 4th year, so it's still new to me getting my reps, but we've probably focused more. Having a full summer has helped to develop and install both sides of the ball and our schematics, so that's helped. For me personally, we've done more video and data stuff over the summer, and in practices every day. We'll film practices and even get stats out of practices and shooting drills. We have 2 strong managers that are really interested in data analytics, so they're breaking down stats in practice, free throws, shooting attempts, where we're getting our shots, even in practice. So I'd say that's kind of been the focus really for the past 4 or 5 months is more video, more breakdown, and more data stuff that is probably still finding a way to use it and make it work for us. But overall, I think that's probably been our biggest growth most recently. And then for me, it's all growth. I mean, I'm learning every day, and some of these guys, coaches that we're facing, have done it for a long time, and they teach me something every game and break me down. So it's all new for me. I'm getting better, hopefully every day. But overall, I need everything. So yeah, every area.
Love it. No, that's awesome. I like how you guys are inputting analytics and data, and data from practice into the game. I don't think the players always understand the trust level that goes in from, oh, I'm a good game player versus I'm doing this every day in practice and proving not only to the coaches but to my teammates that I can be a consistent player. And those stats help show, hey, this is who you are.
Yeah, in the video too, when practice, when you're repeating drills or repeating, coaching points, sometimes they don't get it on the floor, young guys or new guys, inexperienced guys, and then we were able to show it in the locker room or the classroom, and it hopefully shows them a little bit different level that they can adjust with.
Absolutely. Next question. So we have a thing called My Rushmore. So your top 4, like your Mount Rushmore of coaches. Who's on your Rushmore? My
personal, I think from my experience, and we share some of this common experience, Tim Gergovich would be a guy that I look to and learned a lot from. So he'd be up there, and he's behind the scenes a lot, but somebody that has got a lot of respect. Teron Liu is a guy that I've known, and I think what he's done, and a couple stops in the NBA has been impressive. And then I really respect Steve Kerr and Jay Wright for the programs that they build in different relations. They seem to thrive in the relationship building and some of the team building stuff that is so hard, especially at the highest level of Division I in the NBA. So those guys are, anything you can take from them or emulate that they do is something that I would look towards. So, and the way that their teams play is we all strive to move the ball, we all strive to take great shots, play defense, play selfless. So if we can translate that to our teams and 10% that would be great. So probably those guys would be stand out in my personal life and then just from the outside.
Sweet. Yeah. I just recently read Jay Wright's book, and the unselfishness of his players is all about the character. He recruits for character and those things, and continues to develop it. So that's a great opportunity to do that in coaching. And the last question, this is brought by Tarek. He couldn't be here today, and he asked that I asked all the coaches this. Is, who's the best local player that you've played against or looking forward to play against this season?
Looking forward to
or the toughest that you've played against. It's like, man, I got to really figure this out.
The focus is probably Mission League for us, and with a lot of talent on every team. It's you don't look forward necessarily, but it's fun to challenge those guys. And Dusty Schromer was our league MVP last year. He's hard to guard at all over the court. But also Trent Perry at Harvard Westlake is really impressive to me. I mean, the way he runs the team with his poise and his size and skill set on both sides is really impressive. He controls the game for that team, and so he's fun to watch. Playing against him, I don't necessarily look forward to it, but both those guys are pretty strong, stand out at. But there's a lot of guys in our league and on our schedule, but those two really stand out.
Absolutely, you got a tough schedule ahead, just in your league, and then even your preseason games and tournaments that you're in. So you're going to see a lot of talent. To pick one is always tough. And the last question is, if you can describe your program in one word or short phrase, what would it be?
Yeah, kind of when we started over the summer, we realized we're going to be, like I said, we're not going to have the most size, the most length, the most athleticism or whatever, but we've kind of defined our season by grit and used that word as grit, and it's probably a cliche at some point, but if we can just be tougher to beat than the other team, if we can be tough to beat, then we got a chance. So if we can get on the ground for loose balls, if we can box off, if we can take right shots and be mentally tough, then we can beat grit, and use our grit, then we got a chance. So that's kind of what our mantra, if you will, for the season.
Absolutely, yes. The little details, it sounds like, is really the difference maker, and those attention to those details. So let you get down to your game. Good luck. Thanks for having
Thanks, Coach.
Coming to the show, and good luck for your season.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. All right.